The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. This is to say how it is important to stop yourself from self-doubting and start acting on the things you want to get in the future. 3 years ago, I felt like I was out of shape and I was like, this shouldn't be like this. Like, I didn't train and I'm not training anyways. I thought, if I feel this way as a 17-year-old, what will happen when I'm 60? And that switched the things in my head somehow. And I decided that I had to start running again. And then everything changed for me. I found a guy called David Goggins.
I started doing this triathlons and endurance sports, ultra runs, just to test
Lap record and all that stuff. And I was like, if this guy can run a marathon and even like 100-mile races, I can run too. And then I started preparing for a marathon. As an unexperienced runner, in 4 months I will go from beginner to advanced and run a marathon. And at the time, I doubted myself a lot. I wasn't sure whether this is even possible because I struggled to run even 1 kilometer. Physically, it's very difficult, but I realized it's mental, it's not so much physical. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna start 30 kilometers by the end of August. So within 2-3 months, I got from 1 kilometer to 31 kilometers, and then I could not walk anymore. I got into a wheelchair. I had a lot of doubt whether I can even start running again or will I be fine, because I couldn't walk one day and the next day I have a flight to Budapest. So we took the wheelchair when I was in the airport, but when I already arrived to Budapest, I did not have any wheelchair. So I had to kind of have the courage, the strength to walk with 25 kilo suitcase and 7 kilo in my backpack and somehow figure it out, And then it took me 1 month to recover from this because I didn't fully recover. I had to walk, solve my things, and also I wanted to run because I'm here, it's so beautiful, I want to. So some stupid decisions led to me recovering for up to 1 month. Then I thought, is this even possible? Maybe I'm just gonna run and screw this idea. No, I had self-doubt, but regardless of it, I decided to give it a second shot. I started preparing, things were going well to an extent until I realized that I got again to a point of 35 kilometers and it's not going. It's like I hit the wall, invisible running wall that I can't pass by, and so maybe this is not even possible. Maybe I was a bit too ambitious, and so I thought about it. Maybe I should quit. Maybe not all dreams are meant to be accomplished. Or maybe this is something that would take me 5 years to accomplish, and that's all right. I don't have to pressure myself into the smallest deadline that I set for myself to complete. Just maybe. And so this doubt goes on and on and on until I decide, no, I'm gonna give it another shot. And I start my program again. I'm gonna do this again. So this is my second or third try. Overall, I tried many times within a year. I gave up, came back to started running again. Gave up, back into place. Gave up, back. And so it was back and forth movement, me trying to do this difficult thingy. And so I was running again, it was fine. And then I got a knee problem. I went to the doctor and the doctor told me, you have to take X pills because you have inflammation somewhere in my knee. So I have to take pills, and next 2 weeks I shouldn't be running. So I followed the plan. I didn't run for 2 weeks, and then I started running, and it felt like I was on a level 1 again, and I had to restart the whole thing again. I don't know, was it in my mind or not, but I felt like all the experience I had was nothing. And so I started over. This time I decided to do plyometrics, go to the gym, cycle, so do another sport other than my main sport, running. And so I went to the gym 4 times per week. 3 times I was training, two times I was training legs, and 1 time upper body, and the 4th time it would be cardio, which is different from my main cardio. So I would do either cycling or epilepsis, or how is this thing called? And I would run 5 times per week. So this time I got my shit together and I was real serious about this. And this time it was supposed to work. And yes, it was the last time I tried to prepare for full marathon. And then in October 2024, I ran my marathon. It was an incredible journey, and I didn't expect that I would be ever able to do it. When I was running in kilometer 35, it was getting very difficult. And I just reminded myself why I started this and what it meant for me, and how long I've been struggling, and how long this journey took me up until today. And like literally all these moments in my head, they were just popping up, and like, yeah, you gotta show up and you gotta do the work. You gotta keep your promise now. And so I did. And then when I crossed that finish line, it was incredible. Incredibly sad, actually, because it's like, oh my God. And so that's it. The journey is over. So this is the story about me running a marathon. And so now let's get into the sweet parts of what were the exact frameworks that I used to actually be able to beat self-doubt and act on things and achieve my goal at the end of the day, and not let self-doubt to eat me up alive. People often face self-doubt in their lives because they don't have enough expertise or success to have the proof that they can do this. Like going back to the example I gave, I didn't know I can complete the marathon because I've never done it in my life, nor did I have the experience to be sure that something like this can be done by me. Can it be done in general? Yes, many people run marathons. I mean, not many, like 1% of the world runs marathons, but people can and able to run marathon. So it can give you confidence that you can run a marathon. However, have you done this? No. Have you got the enough experience to actually run it? No. So this is when self-doubt arises. And in order to eliminate self-doubt in such cases is to reframing the thing around this. You don't say like, I haven't got the experience, nor have I succeeded previously in this particular goal, so maybe I'm incapable to do it. But rather focus in the moment, create the plan and things that you can control. You can look 1,000 steps ahead, which is good. It's good to look at the big future and look into the future in general. However, if you start saying that, how can I become a champion? It's way too far away. It's way too difficult for me to achieve. Then that's what you focus on the negative part of it, on the how far this goal is, instead of focusing on how you can work on improving this and how can you break down this big thing so much that it becomes possible to actually execute and achieve what you want. Besides, if you do want to know or be reassured that you can achieve this, if you have success or expertise, in order to have success or expertise, you do have to take actions. So this is the paradox. We wait when we will have success and expertise, but we can't have success or expertise if we don't take action. So the key is to start taking actions regardless of having it or not. And eventually we do have it, and then we have more confidence that we can achieve greater goals, greater success on things that we plan for ourselves. Another thing that makes us doubt ourselves more than anything else are people around us. People and society can bring us down and prevent us from achieving our goals. Sometimes people say, oh, that's too ambitious of you. Marathon? It's insane. You want to speak a new language? That's impossible in the time frame you set. But it's possible as long as you can imagine it, as long as you can experience it in your head. Anything that you can believe in is possible. And what other people say is possible or not possible are the limitations they have in their own mind. And their limitations don't have to be your limitations. And only if you allow those limitations to be your limitations, that's when they become yours. And that's when you can't take actions because of other people. So if you build your mind in a way that is strong enough to kind of create an invisible shield to what other people say about your goals and dreams, it doesn't matter if your mom says you can't do this, as long as you believe you can. It doesn't matter if 10 other people don't believe that what you want to achieve can be done or will be done ever by anyone. It matters that you believe you can do it. Elon Musk and many other people have done so many things that in the past were impossible. But because they believed in themselves, they could achieve those things. And if they listened to what other people say about the projects or ideas they had, they would believe that they are insane for believing this is possible. They would have never done it. And then we would not have these amazing things. AI was impossible, I guess, 30 years ago or even 10 years ago. And things that we have today was incredibly insane to have in real life. But here we are. Just because some people are crazy enough to dream it, to have such ambitious goals, today we have the things we have. And that's why it's important to not listen to society and people around you. In some cases, there are external factors that you aren't necessarily in control that can change the outcome or the direction of your goal, like COVID. Like after COVID, maybe people plan to have a business and then COVID hit and suddenly all their plans changed. Now they can't open a business because economically this is not the best time. Pandemics and we don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe that time was the best to start a YouTube channel, right? But it wasn't the best time to open cafe because nobody would go there, right? So these kind of circumstances can change drastically what you are looking for and can create a lot of self-doubt. However, we can always pivot or change our plan a little bit. Maybe delay, maybe make a better plan. Maybe everything was ready, but the timing wasn't right? Then maybe such times like COVID or other circumstances, and you have to delay or change the plan a little bit. Change it. You don't have to doubt whether this will work or not. Adapt and create your plan around the situation. Sometimes it's like this. I got very lucky. When I ran marathon, there wasn't any rain and it was October. But if there was, I don't know how the situation would go. Maybe it would be a lot difficult. Although I trained myself to run under the rain, under pouring rain. However, it would make the job a lot harder if it was raining that day. So did I get lucky? Yes. Maybe in different circumstances I would not be able to complete a marathon. And maybe in different circumstances you wouldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z. But it's fine, it's life. Life happens sometimes. And it can change our initial plan. But we have to stay persistent regardless of the circumstances. And just adjust and pivot. This is life. This is how we live it. And this is how we should do if we want to get things done in this life. So these were the things that helped me to overcome self-doubt, and I hope they help you as well. And if you find this video helpful, I hope you'll find the next video helpful as well. It's about uncertainty.